A follow-up now to a story we first told you about last night at 9. It's almost been 2 years, but Pritchard pensioners could finally be getting some money. Today, Mayor Ron Davis signed off on an agreement that calls for pensioners to receive 1/3 of their payments, in addition to a lump sum to cover a percentage of back pay. Plus, 1/3 of any new revenue generated by the city must go to pensioners. The mayor hopes this is the beginning of the end for that pension crisis.
I believe that it's going to do a lot to resolve the whole issue. I think that we have some more work to do, quite naturally. But I actually believe that the high hurdle that we had to jump, we made it over.
A judge must sign off on the deal before it's put into place.
And as you can imagine, those pensioners are probably glad to know they'll at least be getting something.
Fox News reporter John Rogers caught up with one of the pensioners today. He's joining us live now in the studio with his reaction. John?
Well, Lenise and Bob, Pritchard pensioners haven't gotten a check from the city in 20 months. That's nearly 2 years. The city said it couldn't afford it. But after today's agreement, pensioners could see a check in a couple of weeks. And after stretching their dollars for the past 2 years, this is a little glimmer of hope. A short drive in downtown Pritchard shows it's a city on its knees. Boarded up windows, dilapidated buildings. But this city used to stand tall.
Pritchard used to be a major city. We was in the top 7 cities in Alabama. We had 51,000 people one time.
Henry Phillips is a pensioner and a lifelong lover of Pritchard. From the 50s until the 90s, he worked in the recreation department. He was a police officer, a court bailiff, a judge, a city council member. He ran for mayor, and he was a janitor.
We didn't make much money hourly pay, but I hung on because we had a good retirement program. To be knocked in the head like it is now.
After Pritchard stopped paying pensions, Phillips was hit hard.
And it hurt me pretty bad financially because it knocked close to $1,100 out of my pocket every once a month.
Money to pay the bills. He says his wife had to help make ends meet. But today, Mayor Ron Davis signed an agreement that would give pensioners a check equal to 1/3 of what they're owed, plus a lump sum to cover a percentage of back pay. The agreement also says 1/3 of any revenue generated by the city must go to pensioners.
I think they're good people. They just short of money.
A pensioner spokesperson said 18 pensioners have died since the payments stopped. Phillips has no hard feelings against the city officials. He feels they have their hands tied. But he's just glad something is finally being done.
Councilman from 8 Mile and mayor said they want to make it whole like it used to be, and I think they'd go try.
Phillips was optimistic, and if everything goes to plan, pensioners could expect to see a check as early as next month.